Let's see how we got here. Top of the third, Will Smith facing Kevin Gausman, who was stellar again. But Smith rips one to left field line, bringing home Tommy Edman. It is 1-0 Dodgers. Top of third now, Mookie Betts, who's been kind of off until right there. 3 straight fastballs, that's what you get. That brings in Shohei Ohtani and Will Smith. It is 3-0. Bottom of the inning now, George Springer brings in Addison Barger. Remember the name. It is 3-1 Dodgers. And it stays that way for quite some time. Yamamoto was pulled after just over 90 pitches. Bottom of the ninth, Kike Hernandez with a heads-up play, catching Addison Barger, doing a opposite of heads-up base running there. And abruptly, the game is done. Dodgers hold on to win 3-1. They live to fight another evening. It is a Game 7 tonight. Max Scherzer getting the start. Now, as we look back on Game 6 and ahead to Game 7, we're joined by sports analyst and Nouveau TV and radio host Meeker Guerrier. Thanks for joining us here live on CP24. You're outside, which I think a lot of baseball people need to do right now. Go outside. The sun came up. Yes, take a walk. The world did not explode. How did you dissect that game?
Well, it was a hard game to swallow, obviously, for the Blue Jays fans. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. I thought that the Blue Jays, they were not. Anyway, I was not expecting them to win that game 6, but I'm expecting them to win tonight because to go against Yamamoto was really a hard task for the Blue Jays. They fared well, but it only took 3 points to beat them. And you know what? You can't just shut down the players or the Dodgers players the whole series. You're going to have to give some points at some point. And Mookie Betts, he's a future Hall of Famer. You can't shut him down the whole series. So to me, it's not the end of the world, but tonight is the night. And Game 7 in sports, what better words than that, right?
Yeah, if your team's not playing. I already did. The ALCS Game 7 against Mariners, that almost took me out. But,
yeah, but Phil, had I told you that about 6 months ago, you would have taken that, right? You would have said, you know what, Game 7 at home on top of that. Remember that? They're not playing at the Dodger Stadium. They're playing in Toronto on their home field with their home fans behind them. So it's a pretty good position, if you ask me.
It is a good position, and you're right about Yamamoto, because, heading into Dodger Stadium, some people are saying, just try to bring it back to Toronto, win 1 game at Dodger Stadium. And in my head, I'm like, no. If you could pull what you did in Seattle, win 2 out of 3, you can almost afford a loss, because you are facing Yamamoto Game 6. He is a machine, and, now you have a Game 7 against maybe a not well-rested Shohei Ohtani, and then Tyler Glasnow, who pitched yesterday, and then Blake Snell, who all of a sudden no one in Toronto likes him because he thought the Blue Jays are just lucky to be where they are right now. What about this resiliency that they have? And, we just talked to, someone, we talked to a lot of people, actually, just about the resiliency, whether it's former Jays podcasters. Is that something real, something sustainable? Or do you think after yesterday, the way they lost, maybe that magic could fizzle out?
Oh, no. No, it's definitely sustainable. There's a reason for that. Remember how they ended the season. They lost a few games. A lot of people thought the Yankees would top them and finish first in the American League East. But they finished first because they had a tiebreaker. Then they went into the series against the Yankees. Everyone said, you know what, the momentum maybe have shifted and it's going to be hard to win at the Yankee Stadium. And they did. Same thing against Seattle. They lost 2 games at home. Remember, they lost 2 games at home against Seattle, but they were able to overcome that and make it to the World Series. Same thing with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are one of the richest organizations in baseball. But you know what? They were able to tie the series 2-2 and then take the lead 3-2. And now it's 3-3. But you know what? Yes, I know it's nerve-wracking, Phil, but you have to have confidence. You have to be confident that you can overcome that. And the manager said it. Snyder said it. I'm expecting guys to play cards just as usual at 1 p.m. right before the game. So that's what I'm expecting from the Blue Jays today.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the crowds have been crazy. I've been fortunate enough with the job to go, and it's been very European football-like. No prompts needed for noise and chants.
Finally.
Yeah, finally, right? Yeah, listening to Dodger Stadium, it seemed very quiet down there, and also in the land of the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're pretty quiet as well. How big of an impact do you think the home crowd will be? It was loud yesterday, but now tonight, Game 7, they got to bring their Game 7 attitude as well.
Right. You were talking about the crowd and the fact that the Leafs, it's not always a great atmosphere there. I was actually there last week when the Jays clinched it to make it to the World Series. I was at a Maple Leafs game, and it's sure quiet there. But at the stadium yesterday, it was nothing like a Leafs game. I talked to a few people in Toronto, and they were telling me, you know what, we're not used to that kind of atmosphere. But for baseball, for that World Series, everyone is cranked up. Everyone is ready. So I'm expecting an even better atmosphere than yesterday, because honestly, yesterday was amazing, and I'm expecting that and even better for today.
All right, I'm gonna hang my hat on everything you said about them coming out in games. Like you said, though, yes, if you came to me in February saying Jay's going to be in Game 7 of the World Series against the Dodgers at home, I would have taken that times 1,000. Right. And you know what? I think they're going to be good. Anyone not named Yamamoto, this team tends to rake against. All right. We appreciate your time.
Exactly.
I'm going to go outside after my show. Sports
Take
analyst,
a breather.
I got to take a breather. I'm not watching any baseball stuff. I'm reading about aliens right now just to clear my head. I can give you some reading material. It's been good stuff. All right.
Yeah, no, you know what? You know what? Be confident. You can read about baseball. You can watch what happened yesterday. And Snell was talking about the Blue Jays being lucky. They were bad lucky yesterday because that launch ball, honestly, in most stadiums, it would have been a playable ball.
Yep.
They would have scored 1 point. Who knows what can happen with absolutely no out before that. And George Springer coming to the plate. Who knows what could have happened? I was hoping for that miraculous home run that makes them win the World Series. And then you can read about it and hear about it and tell your grandkids about it in 40 years, but it didn't happen yesterday, but nothing says it can't happen today. Honestly, I'm really expecting them to win.
All right, sports analyst, Nouveau TV and radio host, Meeker Guerrier, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.